Today's objective is two-step word problems, writing equations and solving them. Here's our first problem. There are 42 more red marbles in a jar than white marbles. If there are 238 marbles in the jar, how many are red? How many are white? Okay, so remember with word problems, the first thing we do is write our let statements, and let statements define the variable. So we need to say, who do we know the least about? Well, I know that there are 42 more red marbles than white marbles, so I know more about the red marbles. So I say, here's my let statements, let x equal the number of white marbles, because I don't know anything about them. And since it was 42 more than, we know that that means the 42 has to come at the end of the expression. So I'm going to say x plus 42 is the number of red marbles. So now I've defined my variables. The next step is my verbal model, which are the words, and the words come after the equal sign. So look at the words after the equal sign. Number of white marbles, number of red marbles. Well, that's exactly what my verbal model is. The number of white marbles plus the number of red marbles equals the total marbles. And remember, I kind of write just total whatever. It's not good grammar. It's just kind of funny to me, total whatever, because you can't just write one word. All right, we could write total number of marbles in the jar, but I don't want to write that much. All right, our algebraic model are our variables and numbers, and they come from the right side of the equal sign. So it's really important when you set up your let statements that you don't say, let the number of white marbles equal x, because we always put x on the left, all right? So number of white marbles, that was x. Number of red marbles, that's x plus 42. And whenever you have more than one term in as part of your variable description, you need to put that in parentheses. I've already said all this, okay? X plus 2 equals 238, and this comes, the total comes back from our problem. That was from right here, okay? All right, now we are ready to solve. So we combine like terms. X plus x is 2x, 2x plus 42 is 238. We do the inverse of the adding or subtracting first. So we subtract 42 from both sides of the equation, and you have to show me all this work. This is not work that you're doing in your head. All right, so subtract 42, we have 2x equals 196. Divide both of these sides of the equation by 2, and we get x equals 98. But we're not finished. Okay, what does that 98 mean? Well, x was our number of white marbles. So x is the number of white marbles. And how do I find the number of red marbles? X plus 42, that's the number of red marbles. So x plus 42, I'm going to cross that out and write 98 plus 42. And 98 plus 42 is 140. So here's our check. 140 plus 98, yep, I'm right, 238. And here's my sentence, because we always have to write a word sentence for our word problem. There are 98 white marbles and 140 red marbles. Now, that's pretty much the minimum you can write. You could say in the jar, you can always write more, okay? All right, let's do another problem. We are doing 3 problems today. Number 2, the sum of 2 numbers is 139. The second number is 1 more than twice the first. Do you remember what twice the first means? What are the 2 numbers? Okay, so we say, who do we know the least about? Well, I know the second number is 1 more than twice the first, so I know more about the second number. So I'm going to say let x equal the first number. Okay, and it's totally fine with me if you abbreviate number like this. And then 1 more than twice the first, more than always comes after at the end of your expression. So twice means times 2, twice the first plus 1, that's my second number. Verbal model, first number plus second number equals total number. And once again, it just needs to be the words, but you still can't have abbreviations, okay? And my algebraic model, first number was x, second number was 2x plus 1 in parentheses, equals total, and that comes from my problem, okay? All right, now we solve. Combine like terms. X plus 2x is 3x. 3x plus 1 is 139. Subtract 1 from both sides because that's the inverse of addition. 3x equals 138. Now we say, that's what I had, okay? So now we say divide both sides by 3. Well, I don't know what that is off the top of my head. So I went over to the side, okay, not in the middle of my problem. I went over to the side, I said 3 divided into 138. I saw that it was 3 goes into 13 4 times. Write down the 12, carry down, 18. 3 goes into 18 6 times, so I get 46. So x equals 46. And this is my first number. A lot of kids just stop there, but we're doing word problems. You're not done, okay? What's the second number? Well, remember the second number was 2 times x plus 1. So I'm going to say 2 times 46 plus 1, 92 plus 1, 93. That's my second number. And my check? 46 plus 93, 139. And that was my original number. All right, here's a short little sentence. The two numbers are 46 and 93. But that's all I asked you. What are the two numbers? Okay? All right, one more. Number 3. A board 10 feet long is cut into 2 pieces. One piece is 3 feet longer than the other. Find the length of both pieces. Now, you have probably been used to, or you may have been used to, going through the problems and just looking for the numbers. Well, the only numbers is number 3 and the number 2, because I've spelled out the numbers. So you need to pay attention and find them even though they're spelled out, okay? So who do we know the least about? Well, we know that one piece is 3 feet longer than the other. So we know more about the longer piece, because if it's 3 feet longer, that means it's longer. So I'm going to say let x equal the shorter piece, because that's who we don't know anything about. And 3 feet longer than, that's like more than. So that would come at the end. X plus 3 is the longer piece. When we are telling you something, it almost always comes at the end. Longer than, shorter than, less than, more than, okay? All right, verbal model, word, shorter piece plus longer piece equals total piece. Okay, that's kind of funny. All right, I know I should write board, but I just like to amuse myself. The algebraic model, x, what's the longer piece? X plus 3 in parentheses equals 10. Where does that come from? Right here, 10 feet long. Okay, it comes from my problem. Combine like terms, x plus x, 2x plus 3 equals 10. The inverse of addition is subtraction. Subtract 3. We get 2x equals 7. Oh my gosh, it's not going to go unevenly. Well, it doesn't always have to be an integer, okay? Divide by 2, divide by 2. X equals 3.5, 3.5. This is your shorter length. And how do I find my longer length? X plus 3. 3.5 plus 3 is 6.5. That's my longer length. Not always integers, but if we check them, 3.5 plus 6.5, that equals 10. Okay, so you've been getting these nice whole numbers so far in your word problems. They're not always going to be whole numbers. They're not always going to be positive either. All right, the shorter piece is 3.5 feet and the longer piece is 6.5 feet long. We're done.